Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I want to talk about a team I built for UN1 featuring Kaishu. So, why is Kaishu so cool? Well, once they do transform, they are able to become an incredibly powerful leader that has, in theory, an unlimited scaling multiplier because you need a match exactly for light, dark, or hard orbs, and the inclusion of hard orbs makes your life significantly easier. And the goal for this team is to hit at least 64,000 health, so I'm just going to quickly transform everyone here. I had 27 skill boosts to start, and now I have, well, it's going to show much less, but point of the matter is, once you do transform, make sure you're above 64,000 health or you're just going to die. That being said, I just want to go through the subs and who I chose. So, Paimon and Baron are technically both 7x6 options. I chose Baron and both at the same time because I didn't have too many other good damage sticks, so to speak. And Baron, even with double 10 combo and a single TPA, does actually do quite meaningful damage with the super poison resist. Paimon, why is Paimon so great for this team? Well, you get that 7x6 option as well. And you also have tons of passive damage from the enhanced dark combos. Their personal damage is definitely very low, but it's okay. It's okay. There's plenty of damage across the entire team. And then the active skill itself gives you 2 turns of attribute absorption and damage absorption, along with 3 times attack as well. And the absorption cancellation is great because later on, Couchamar's little plushie gets killed much more easily. You could probably just dance and stall through it, but why not? Paimon's a great 7x6 choice. And they are able to actually utilize the skill boost plus super latent, so they can have potentially way more skill boost than anyone else when you think about it. In my case here, I elected to take super blind resist, and I was happy with that just to get all the resists. And Rain, you get Dark Paimon from just evolving. It's not a specific Paimon gem, it just needs the huge or large or whatever the biggest gem is. And then Alatu, I think they're just they're just a nice reliable sub. I guess the L could be cool, but then everyone Kaishu's unlock anyways. They give super jammer resist. They have double 10 combo. Their active skill does give you a board refresh, which can be quite refreshing, so to speak, because you're able to then overwrite the Hera Dragon preemptive board, which would kill you otherwise. And the movement time buff can be nice in case you do get hit by any of these movement time debuffs. And then finally, this individual here, I cannot pronounce his name. He comes from the My Hero Academy collab. I was just so fortunate to roll them. They have no skill boost in their base form, but when they transform, they have meaningful personal damage, a 2-turn cooldown that gives you a full Awoken Bind clear, and then it changes fire to dark, water to light orbs. And with them and Kaishu's, you technically have a way to make orbs every single turn. In this case here, Awoken Skill Bind is not really that important necessarily. I don't think you really need it. So if you had 2 Kaishu's, I'd say that would be just a better choice. You'd have way more skill boost, and in turn you could have more team building flexibility. For the weapon assists, I was kind of prioritizing team HPs until I have enough, so I'm above 64k, and then after that, all I care about is actually team RCV, because if you have enough health to tank the largest regular or expected hit, which is 64,000 for this team, I just want to be able to heal as much as I absolutely possibly can, so team RCVs become more valuable. So Hans' Brush, it could be anything that gives you bind immunity, some team HP, team RCVs. The tennis racket is used to delay mine. Against mine, you're going to get a 7x6 penalty because from 7x6, she shrinks it down to 6x5. And that's going to be pretty much just lots of suffering. So having a long 4-turn delay, there are many options out there. I chose the tennis racket because it gives me the team HPs and the team RCV. Again, that was kind of my priority for the weapon assist. The diamond rem draw gives me 2 turns haste, cloud resist, bind immunity for Paimon. The haste is good because I'll use Paimon on turn 1, haste up, and then the Mebius brace gives me the attribute absorption cancellation. So you could use Paimon to counter floor 3, but I rather use an inherit on Alatu because Paimon is able to actually have 2 skill delay resist latents, whereas all my other subs don't. So that means when I enter the dungeon, I won't be able to gain access to that extra haste, which I do technically need because I don't have 28 skill boosts. I had 27. 28 would let me transform my leader friend Kaishu right away. My Kaishu has the unmatchable latent, so that means I do get delayed, so it could be a little bit annoying. So that's why a bit of haste could be nice to just bring it back up to the level you want. And then finally, I chose to use Ilm's Tiara because it gave me a Cross Awakening and a single skill bind resist, which I did need. There is potentially a 7-turn Sticky Blind Skyfall, which is pretty much just terrible suffering, so getting rid of it as soon as possible is a good idea. So it'll, like, having one Cross Awakening will make your life much happier, because this is not like Shiva Dragon swipe farming team where it's like you don't really need to know what's a Dark Orb or not, you're just swiping your pattern anyways, so it helps. And then finally, Amma Kazumi has bind immunity for my Kaishu friend and triple team HPs to, you know, hit that health threshold. So I've been having some issues with my device. I think I need to start to get a new one. I've entered the dungeon. It's playing great, but like for some reason when I'm matching, my screen decides to, you know, disconnect my like stylus or my finger, and it just drops my orb and I just die a horrible death. But I'm quite confident the team can work out well. I feel like there should be a certain degree of flexibility on your team, but I feel like I've addressed all the major concerns for this given dungeon. I have 100% resist to absolutely everything, so it's just a matter of making those TPAs. And then finally, if you see on the right-hand side, I have a little board that as a prepared in pad DB, just to show like what you could possibly try and aim for when you're matching your TPAs. The water orbs would be green orbs depending on which active skill you use, but the point of the matter is if you stagger the 2 bottom rows or the 2 top rows of a TPA in a 3-match and then TPA 3-match in reverse, you can make columns and horizontal. Point of the matter is you might have an easier time overall if you kind of adhere to like that tentative pattern. But if that being said, hopefully this video provides a little bit of insight. I don't have any like relevant gameplay because as soon as I play, I just disconnect and die. But again, hopefully this gives you a bit of insight, inspiration as what you could do to build your Kaishu team. But regardless of all that, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.